And everybody says, oh, it was a failed opportunity to play baseball. You know, that's what they think. For me, it was the best thing that could have happened for me because it allowed me to go back to the game with a stronger passion.
All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope y'all are having a good day so far. So I had this video here suggested in the comments a couple of days ago, and I watched the first like 15 seconds of it. I'm like, yep, I'm reacting to this 100%. Y'all know me. Y'all know what I want to watch. This one is titled, well, I don't want to say the first word, F being average. Michael Jordan motivation. This is coming to you from a channel called Motivation Madness. I am currently not subscribed. 3.82 million subscribers. Wow. I'm in a minority here. I'm gonna go ahead and just subscribe because I'm pretty sure I know what this video is gonna be, and I support it. So anyways, you guys, I'm linking the original video down below in the description if you want to check it out and be the 3 million subscriber over there. But it seems like if they got content like this, then it's probably a cool place to subscribe to. Anyways, link is going to be down below in the description. I figured it's a good day to start out with some Michael Jordan motivation, and I have something more on the fun side later tonight that should be just like exciting to react to. But yeah, let's start out the day with some motivation, everyone. So yeah, link is down below. Guys, you also see a list of channel members. Shout out to you guys. I really appreciate you guys. I hope you all are doing well. Everybody, without further ado, let's get into it. Please like the video. It helps out a lot, or hit that hype button or whatever that is. I appreciate it. And I think it all helps. Guys, let's do it.
I've missed more than 9,000 shots in my career. I've lost almost 300 games. 26 times I've been trusted to take the game-winning shot and missed. I've failed over and over and over again in my life, and that is why I succeed.
My favorite commercial probably ever.
Michael Jordan tells me one day.
Like, guys, the stark contrast between this and how LeBron advertises himself as though he's done no wrong. Like, this is accountability in a commercial form, and it's so awesome that Michael Jordan did it. You know, it is how we. The thing is if we can all accept our failures, then I think it's so much of a better story we can all tell people. No one's perfect. We've all messed up. And I mean, more importantly, whenever we're trying to achieve a goal, no one ever does it the first time. So why bury it? Accept it, embrace it.
Michael Jordan tells me one day he wants to be the best player that's ever played here.
Oh, yeah.
And I said, well, you got to work harder than you did in high school. He said, I worked as hard as everybody else. I said, oh, excuse me. I thought you just told me you want to be the best player to ever play here. He said, I'm going to show you. Nobody will ever work as hard as I work.
Winning has a price. I don't have to do this. I'm only doing it because it is who I am. That's how I played the game. That was my mentality. To win, you got to lose.
Mm-hmm.
To be successful, you got to have something that's not successful.
Yeah, there is no light without the dark.
To be happy, you got to have disappointment. So I think all of those things have evolved and happened to make me who I am and understand the benefits and the privileges I have for being who I am, you know, and not to wear it on my sleeve, be very humble about it. That's one thing my parents taught me very well.
Yeah, good parents, man.
You know, don't wear your reputation, don't wear your accolades, don't wear your, you know, your personality on your sleeve. Let it happen, let it be you. It is who you are. Don't hide from it, but don't wear it, rub it in people's faces. If you ask 20 years from now, I'm pretty sure LeBron may beat me, you know, based on who's going to be making the voting. So I say that to understand that, you know, it is what it is. If you ask me, I can never give you an opinion about things like that because as an athlete, all you want to do is be the best athlete you can be. So quite naturally, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to understand you're going to make mistakes.
Wait, I want to.
The most important thing about making mistakes.
Keyboard froze there. I want to go back to something he just said there.
You ask me, I can never give you an opinion about things like that because as an athlete, all you want to do is be the best athlete. So, great.
Right there. His job is not to be the media. His job is not to self-critique or to promote himself as something. His job is to go out there and compete, do the best he can while he's playing the sport, and let his actions speak for themselves, and everybody else speaks for him. Once again, it's why I love his mindset, you know?
Naturally, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to understand you're going to make mistakes. The most important thing about making mistakes is being able to learn from them and not be able to duplicate the same mistakes.
Circle, puts the shot in the air. Good! The game's over.
Yeah, I mean, we're people, you know? We're humans. We are going to make mistakes, you know? We weren't born walking. We had to learn how to crawl first, and then eventually we learned how to walk. And when we did, we kept falling down. We have to get up. That's life. That's what makes us human. We persevere.
And with that mistakes, you got to, be able to make adjustments. I never played against Will Chamberlain. I never played against, Jerry West. To now say that, one's greater than the other is being a little bit, unfair. How much impact did each change or evolve the game? The thing that I remember the most about my father, and I had him.
By the way, real quick, that's always why, I put, I don't know, I'm doing it, but I put Steph over LeBron, because generationally, who changed the game? It wasn't LeBron. It wasn't him at all. Unless you want to talk about how free agency works, but that's not what people care about in the long run. 50 years from now, we won't be talking about that. We'll be talking about the eras of the game. Obviously, Michael Jordan did what he did. Obviously, Bird and Magic did what he did. Kobe did us all a solid and continued to carry the Jordan torch. LeBron didn't change the game. Steph Curry changed the game. And some of us, including myself, don't exactly like how the game was changed because of how Steph Curry started dominating, but I don't blame him for that. He came in and changed the game. Everybody else followed suit. He didn't tell everybody to follow his style. They all did it. And guess what? If you guys watched 2000s basketball, like 2000 to 2010, who do you think all those awesome shooting guards were emulating? They were all emulating MJ, just like everyone is emulating Steph now. I'm sorry, there's no one emulating LeBron.
32 years. The thing that I do remember.
That being said, I want to hear that one more time.
Unfair. How much impact did each change or evolve the game? The thing that I remember the most about my father, and I had him for 32 years. The thing that I do remember all the time, I think about him practically every day. The thing he's always said, take a pause before you make a decision and say, what if? And the purpose for saying what if is that whatever decision you make, always either going to have consequences, either pros or cons. And if you think about the consequences, pro or con, you make the right decisions that you feel is the right decision. Now, all the decisions I made, other people may view to be not the right decisions from their perspective, but for me to go play baseball.
Yes, sir.
And everybody says, oh, it was a failed opportunity to play baseball. That's what they think. For me, it was the best thing that could have happened for me because it allowed me to go back to the game with a stronger passion. At the same time, I was able to understand the love that these minor league baseball players have. To me, to see that helped me put things in perspective to understand the platform that I was on in 93.
Yeah.
That when I went back to it in 95 and 96, I appreciated it even greater. So when we won those championships and we went through those things mattered to me far greater than what I did in 91, 92, 93. People don't see that, and people will never understand that to be success. Don't be afraid to fail. A great example for
real quick to chime in on that. The thing that I think, for some reason, it rubs a lot of people the wrong way, but I think it was the most human thing he could have ever done. 93, Magic warned everybody around 91. You know, if you guys keep hounding Michael Jordan like this, like he doesn't like attention, he's going to leave you. You know, he's going to leave the game. Jordan had everything. He had all the attention, but he had all the hate as well because of it. But he's on top. You know what I mean? And then once you realize what it's like being on top, like having that much constant attention, normal humans don't enjoy this. You know what I mean? They want to live their life. They want to, you know, outside of work, they want to be able to be themselves and just live. So he couldn't get that anymore in the NBA. So he did the unthinkable. He walked away from the game to go do something else where he can do it behind the scenes, yet still compete. And in that period of time, he remembered what it's like to just be one of the guys when he was playing baseball. In turn, that helped him appreciate, okay, I do have this platform in basketball. Now, what can I use it for? You know, so something more positive now, you know? And he came back a completely different dude. You know, he was all full of love for the game in that second three-peat. Now, there are players who don't walk away, who have been on top for a long time, and they become obsessed with it. I'm looking at you, LeBron James. You know, you can't go 5 minutes without the media all over you, without constant attention. If you do, you'll stir something up. You'll take a picture in front of the Clippers facility or whatever it is that you need to do to get some attention. You're the antidote, the opposite of Michael Jordan. Jordan didn't want all the attention, didn't want all the praise. He wanted to compete. And then all the attention and all the praise started getting in the way of him competing. So he had to go and play a different sport for a while, you know? But others are obsessed with that attention. And those people, not usually the people you can trust in the real world.
You love something, your agenda is to be successful and to win. It's a certain price you have to pay, and it's a certain accountability you have to hold. Don't be afraid to try it. The worst thing that can happen is it doesn't pan out the way that you envision it. But at least you know that by giving it a shot.
What's your greatest disappointment in sports?
I haven't had any disappointments. I mean, you know, sports is a tool that teaches, you know, and it teaches you bad things. It can also teach you good things.
Agreed.
It's how you perceive those things. I've looked at every experience that I've had, negative and positive, and taken that as a positive. You know, if I wouldn't change anything because I think it would alter some of the other things that happen.
Absolutely.
You know, so when I look back, I can't say that I've had any bad things happen. Sure, I mean, you don't want bad things to happen, but you deal with bad things. You can't have good or without bad.
Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I led you to believe it was easy when it wasn't. Maybe I made...
Guys, because
I led you to believe...
Okay, because playing basketball from the age of 5, I obviously had some ankle issues, you know, hooping every single day. My left ankle, still to this day, is like one wrong fall away from just being, you know, strained for a couple days. And I was like that from a young age. I grew up watching Come Fly With Me, and I would always do these swimming pool exercises where I'm just running across the pool like this.
It was easy.
Yeah, this one, where he's going at angles. So I would just go across the pool doing this all the time, just running through it. Because I saw Michael Jordan do it when he was recovering his ankle, so I figure this will strengthen my my ankle. This is what we had to do before the internet, guys. We didn't have any Reddit or anything like that. We had a VHS with Michael Jordan on it and go in, okay, I think this is how I strengthened that ankle.
When it wasn't. Maybe I made you think my highlights started at the free throw line.
Right.
And not in the gym. Maybe I made you think that every shot I took was a game winner. That my game was built on flash and not fire.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's my fault that you didn't see that failure gave me strength, that my pain was my motivation. Maybe I led you to believe that basketball was a God-given gift and not something I worked for. Every single day of my life. Maybe I destroyed the game.
I love it.
Or maybe you just making
excuses. Le excuses.
Excuses.
Have you ever been afraid on the court ever against anybody?
Never.
Have you ever been intimidated by anybody?
Never. I mean, these guys put on their shorts just like me. I don't fear anyone on the basketball court.
My competitive drive is far greater than anyone else that I've met. I think that I thrive on that. I think that's my biggest motivation in life, is to compete, find different competitions in certain things in life and try to overcome that, be it positive or negative. But I have yet to meet someone who is as competitive as me, and I just feel that much confident about my competitive drive.
I mean, if Michael Jordan was a fighter, I could see him being like Ryu from Street Fighter. Because like whenever you beat a Street Fighter game with Ryu, at the end, he's always just walking into the sunset looking for the next competition. Like he doesn't even take the awards or anything like that. He's gone and he's looking for the next fight. Like it's Michael Jordan, but Michael Jordan wasn't a video game, y'all. This guy was real. I mean, he is real. He's still with us, thankfully.
A lot of times I had to battle with myself to keep challenging myself. That to me was why I would say that the biggest battle was myself, because when you get to a certain pinnacle, you got to find some ways to keep going out there for 82 games. I mean, I love the game, and every day I try to play it as hard as I can when I'm playing it, but that's an unbelievable graphic. I mean, I imagine if I didn't play basketball professionally, I'd probably play 126 games anyway, so it really doesn't make a difference.
There's a lot of conversations about what your game is capable of achieving. And I'm a firm believer that if you have a good game, your game is going to say that. You don't have to say it. So I guess just trying to play down some of the trash talking, animosity that's in words and the whole promotional thing. Let your game be your promotion, your marketing tool. And that was our whole era. Our game gave the labels of what our basketball skills were, and then the marketing came back around that. Now it's changed. So I'm trying to revert back to where your game do all your talking instead of what we may say and what someone else may say about your game.
Wow. I mean, if you guys just listen to that, like that's let your game speak for yourself. Say less, do more. In other words, 2025 NBA, I wish there was a way for everybody to just sit down in a room and watch this. Like, this is what's missing in today's game. Talk less about what you're doing. Show me more.
I can remember a game coming off the basketball court and we were down, 5 to 10 points, and I go off about 25 points and we come back and win the game. And we're walking off the floor and Tex look at me and says, there's no I in team. I say, Tex, it's not an I in team, but it's I in win. I think he got my message. I'd do anything to win. If that means we play team format, we win. If that means I have to do whatever I have to do, we're going to win, no matter how you look at it. And then you had all your media naysayers. Oh, scoring champion can't win an NBA title. Or, you're not as good as Magic Johnson. You're not as good as Larry Bird. You're good, but you're not as good as those guys. I had to listen to all this. And that put so much wood on that fire that it kept me each and every day trying to get better as a basketball player. Now, I'm not saying they were wrong. I may have looked at them from a different perspective, but at the same time, as a basketball player, I'm trying to become the best that I can. For someone like me who achieved a lot in over the time of my career, you look for any kind of messages that people may say or do to get you motivated to play the game of basketball at the highest level.
Yes, sir.
Because that is when I feel like I excel at my best.
We don't have bad games.
And once again, there are two paths he can go on there. He's hearing all this criticism. He could either silence them or pay them off like somebody else we know, a la Clutch, or he can respond on the court. And what did Jordan do? All the criticisms that he faced, he proved everyone wrong with his play on the court. For those of you who are too young to know this, in the 80s, all the rave was Michael Jordan can't win, a shooting guard, someone who's winning scoring titles can't win, a shooting guard built team can't win. You have to have a big man. And all they had was, Bill Cartwright, Will Perdue, guys like this, Corzine at the time. So everyone was saying, MJ, you can't do it. What did Jordan do? He did it. And then he did it 5 more times. All right? He shut them all up. And I love it because here he is. People don't understand why he did this in the Hall of Fame. It's because he kept all this to himself, you know? He probably talked about it with his friends and family, but he kept it out of the media. He never complained. He never cried about it, but he listened. And then he shut everybody up on the court, and this was his moment to say, I heard everything you all said, and I responded the way I did, and I'm standing here right now in the Hall of freaking Fame.
Best. We don't have bad games, or we're not expected to have bad games. We got to be consistent. We have to be good every night. We have a challenge every night. You know, something was given to us by the notoriety, by the media, by the fans, that superstardom. And we have to protect it because everybody's coming in trying to get it. I was being given that MVP by my teammates, by people that I play with and I'm with 8 months out of the year. Instead of the media, who I see quite a bit, but my players actually gave me that because of the way they played, I feel. And that was very touching for me.
Tell me what you were thinking about when you were going in for that jam.
You're thinking about what you're going to do. I was thinking too much. I knew in my mind, I think I was going to throw it off the backboard. It was really embarrassing, but you know, everybody makes mistakes. I don't think anyone should be afraid going to the hole.
Hold on.
Too much. I knew in my mind, I think I was going to throw it off the.
I love it. Everyone on the bench is just laughing. That's not something you see every day.
Backboard. It was really embarrassing, but you know, everybody makes mistakes. I don't think anyone should be afraid going to the hole. And a lot of guys are getting to that point where they're afraid going to the hole. Afraid to go? Yeah. Are you ever afraid to go? Never. I never. I mean, I had to live that way.
MJ. Oh, he did it!
Yeah, after what the Pistons did to him, nothing can scare him.
Oh, man!
Good Lord.
Jordan drives again.
Nobody's bad, right? Nobody's bad. I mean, you're talking about the cream of the crop. It's the mind. You know, a lot of guys who can run and jump can probably shoot, but if they don't have the killer instinct or the confidence in themselves on those skills, we must be considered one of the best teams ever. Personally, I mean...
Wow, this was big. Great video. I mean, wow. I mean, listen to this. Sorry. Listen to what Jordan's saying here, because this is something I don't know about you guys, but like I've been talking about since I was a kid with my friends. Some people just don't have it, the mentality, the mindset, but they're the most gifted players, you know, you could possibly imagine. I mean, I hate to say it, like on a lower level, a Ben Simmons or, you know, a James Harden or a LeBron James. I have to say Kevin Durant. There's a lot of players that don't exactly have that killer instinct to do what needs to be done, but they do have gifts. They have physical gifts that make them incredible. Here, listen again.
Nobody's bad, right? Nobody's bad. I mean, you're talking about the cream of the crop. It's the mind. You know, a lot of guys who can run and jump can probably shoot, but if they don't have the killer instinct or the confidence in themselves on those skills, we must be considered one of the best teams ever. Personally, I mean, individual goal was that Magic, Bird, Isaiah never did this. So that meant a lot to me to do it for the third time. Yes. You know, I won't say that I'm better than those people, but I think in terms of success, continuous and consistently, that puts me right up there with them, if not, you know, a step above them. You know, so I'm not here campaigning for the best player in the world or in history. I'm not saying that, you know, because everybody plays differently in different eras. But to say that we won 3 in a row now as a part of that team, that means a lot. I don't look at this moment as a defining end to my relationship with the game of basketball. It's simply a continuation of something that I started a long time ago. One day you might look up and see me playing the game at 50.
I took that serious, by the way. When he said, I believe there was some honesty in there. Like there was a slight possibility in his brain he would do it. And I held out hope. It was until he was about like 52, 53 years old that my brother was like, give it up, man. He ain't coming back.
Never say never.
Yeah.
Because limits, like fears, are often just an illusion. Thank you very much.
I wish I still had my old shirt from back in the day. I used to have a black T-shirt with the Jordan logo in the middle in silver, and silver letters said "Fear is an illusion." And it was so cool for me to see him he twisted it a little bit, but he brought it back for his Hall of Fame speech. And I'm talking, I was wearing that shirt in like the late 80s to early 90s, so fast forward so many years later. And it's cool to know where that line comes from, like it's his line. That wasn't just a Nike line. Anyways, wow, what a video, you guys. Link is down below once again. Motivational Madness. I can't believe I've never heard of this channel until now. And that's why this community is so awesome, guys. There are a lot of you guys in the comments will thank me for like reacting to something because you never knew about a certain channel. And the thing is, you guys, at least like 60%, 70% of the videos I react to is coming from you guys. So this is like a give and take situation here, and I think it's really awesome. It's really cool. I feel blessed to get to do this every day with you guys, and I always look forward to the second I'm done. I start thinking about what the comments are going to be, and I get excited about jumping in the comment section with you guys. So there's not much for me to say on the outro because I think Jordan said it all. All I can say is for myself. I heard everything you said, MJ. I've been listening since I was 5 years old. I've been holding on to these little nuggets. And I've always tried to look for what you really mean as opposed to like what everyone's outrage is about. And I'm glad I did it because the older you get, the easier it is, and the more you just cut right through. You don't BS, You just say it as it is. And it's changed my life all for the better. Nothing for the negative. I'll put it that way. Because you watch a guy like Jordan go and you hold yourself to high expectations in everything you do. And that's what I've done. In every aspect of life, I hold myself to a high expectation. And, life is not perfect. I've had a gazillion ups and a gazillion downs, and I'm going to continue to have it. But the thing is if it happens, you know how to pick yourself back up. To have the confidence to just pick yourself back up. I didn't teach myself this. I watched it, and as much as people like to criticize Jordan going to play baseball and then coming back, I personally, for myself, selfishly, am so glad he did that. That taught me so many lessons, You have to challenge yourself in life, so you have to seek the challenge. He did that. Don't be afraid of walking away from something that everybody else thinks you're nuts for doing it. I've done that before, And don't be afraid to start from the bottom. I've done that a million times as well. I don't know. It's great. And then to see him come back to basketball and everyone doubting him in 95, that I needed that as well, because I needed to see how he was going to respond. Was he going to respond with crying or whining, or excuses, or exactly how he did with the greatest season of all time? I needed to see this stuff as a kid, as a teenager, and still as an adult to go, this mofo never made excuses, Who am I to think I can make some excuses? No, man, no. It doesn't work that way. Life doesn't work that way. And anything worth having is worth fighting for. And anything worth fighting for shouldn't be making excuses if you don't accomplish it on the first time. Get back out there. Try again. Try until you accomplish what you set out to accomplish. You only live once, man. Anyways, you guys, I am out of here. I said I had nothing to say, but I guess I did have something to say. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching, everybody. Can't wait to see you all in the comments, like always. Like the vid if you liked it. Hit that hype button if you want to find out what it does. Subscribe to the channel if you want more content like this. And most importantly, is to be water, my friends.